Hey guys, welcome to our review of Ultraman Lube RB, episode 21? 22? I'm your host, Stratos. Here with me today we have
Cinder Blaze.
Dude, welcome back. I'm all over the place. This episode was kinda here. It was fine. The revelations that it gave us were fine. It's like doing the bare minimum, I guess.
Okay, let's start with some of the positives. The mom was pretty entertaining when she first kind of popped out.
Yeah.
She was kind of like that person who's full of energy. I think the father's talking about it. She felt a lot like Asahi, which was a nice little parallel to have. But
now onto the negatives. I did. She, when she was talking to Asahi, she gave out 3 of the most boring revelations we could have about her character and what they could be. Either she came from another person, which is not the case, or she's something from space, and she's not. Or 3, which is what we wanted. Or 3, she's a daughter from another dimension, and it lines up with who she would be had she stayed on Earth. I don't want it to be that one, because that would also be very boring.
it would also make no sense and be kind of just stupid overall.
Right, but we have a track record of doing that. Why is the mom gone? What's up with this intrigue? Oh, she just went to another dimension. That's it.
Yeah. And what was stopping Mitsurugi from just eating a sandwich the entire freaking episode? She's on the verge of death, and all she needs to do is just eat a little bit, drink some water.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be in a much better place to fight the different dimension blade fiend. Forgot what it was called.
It was really weird. I've been playing Sims 4 because it's free now, and she's just like one of the Sims that I made. For some reason, he wouldn't eat his food. He'd just take it from the fridge and then put it on the floor and walk away. I didn't know what to do. I kept sending it back to the fridge, and I did it 7 times, and it's just food all over the floor. And then I hit the button. I was like, okay, put a caterer here. Bring in food. They just left the food there. Anyway.
Back on topic.
Also the mom doing that fake out at the end. She clearly doesn't want to get her sons in danger anymore, so that's the thing that's happening. Which is another thing that could have been interesting if she was someone else and not the mom, just covering was a cover-up instead of the actual mom. But I have a feeling it is just a mom that is worrying about her boys.
Yeah.
Which, again, another boring thing. I don't know, it's weird. I understand that you don't want to follow certain tropes, but also this leads to a very... you subverted our expectations by giving us the most boring outcome that you possibly could.
I don't know. It looks like she was meddling with the devices so that maybe they could unlock a power-up. So I'm not too butthurt about it. But I also kind of did expect this twist to happen. I guess it wasn't much of a twist for me because you can kind of we knew from the get-go that she would probably be a little suspicious, especially when she asked for the henshin devices.
Yeah.
That it's getting a little bit dicey here, but it's the most expected thing, is what you would expect for that type of character to do. So I was kind of fine with it, but as you're saying, they're kind of snipping away all possibilities of an interesting kind of twist and ending.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just funneling itself into something a little bit more predictable. We do have some outliers though, Asahi is still up in the air because the mother had 3 hypotheses, but it could just be none of those. So that's not
true.
really, that's not really a set in stone at the moment. One other thing I didn't like too much was I think like the boys didn't have much chemistry with the mother. Like maybe
Really?
like
I disagree.
I think this didn't like show it as much as like with the father and like Asahi, because at
Mhm.
least like Asahi had their moment
Yeah.
with them, but like they were I guess they're like a little bit too preoccupied about the end of the world to really be
Hmm.
too excited about their mother and stuff, you know, like they didn't really have that type of thing because you know that was their mother, and they
Hmm.
just kind of like, oh well, she's back. All right.
Well, I disagree. I think that the scene where she re-enters the house store, um where she sort of went through like, oh hey, Asahi, this is your thing, and then I can relate to that. Oh hey, Isami, this is your thing, this satellite thing here, that's your thing, and I can relate to that. And then also, Red, you are a handsome boy, and that is your thing because fashion is your quirk, I guess, and also baseball. And then the dad
Oh
also.
yeah, she's also kind of like super athletic as well,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
And I guess like all three of these kids only got traits from the mother, and like the dad just kind of like sitting around there and he's like, are these even my kids?
Wait, hold on. No, again, I disagree because like all of them were tired and groggy and didn't want to do jack squat when they woke up, and she was like, I have so much energy. Literally none of them did.
Okay, I guess they inherited that from their father.
Yeah. And also just the scene where she was explaining like how the the space funky stuff was kind of a white blood cell. I felt like there was a pretty strong family dynamic there when Isami was like, "Oh yeah, I know it because I smart," and then and
Every
then she
single
went
other
to
person answered it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was to put a bow on it. It was a fine, a functionally okay episode.
Yeah.
It
Just have more screen presence than all of them. It's kind of funny, but
yeah.
I kind of did like her more than the other guys. So
Mhm. Also, the monster this week was dope. So
he was so cool looking, but he was so weak.
yeah,
Like freaking Mitsurugi was kicking his ass at the end.
yeah.
Oh
But yeah.
well,
Anyway, anything else you want to say about this episode?
I'm done.
All right, cool, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about this episode, and don't forget to watch the watch along that went up at the same time as this. Also, don't forget this week we're going to be finishing out Rube and then leading into our coverage of the Netflix Ultraman series. So go ahead and check that out if you are so inclined. Guys, thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.
See ya.
Ugh. I cannot go further on this.
On the.
Yeah, well said.
I was interested on what they're gonna do with the mom, and then this happened. And I was like, well, I don't care anymore.